What up guys, it is Peyton here. Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new here, hi, I'm Peyton. I am 19 years old and I come from Canada. And today for Living with Borderline Personality Disorder, I thought that I would do a fun little video that I came up with that was inspired by Themaddiebruce here on YouTube. She's a really good mental health advocate and a really strong person and a great inspiration, and the world needs more people like her. So I will link her video in the icon. Sorry, I need to stop stuttering. And I will also link it down below in the description box if you guys would like to check it out, because it is a really good video. And she basically Googled borderline personality disorder and answered some of the most searched questions and stuff on borderline personality disorder. So I will be answering these stuff in my own opinion, of course, and based on my own experience and my study of psychology. And so yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So I basically went on an invisible tab because I didn't want any of these searches to be impacted by my previous searches on borderline personality disorder and stuff, and so I just went on a private tab. And it's just so funny that one of the trending searches is TikTok color personality test, because now I want to take that instead of filming this video. Why do I keep messing up my words today? Holy fuck. Okay, let's search borderline personality disorder though. So as I go through the top few searches, it says borderline personality disorder, borderline personality disorder test, borderline personality disorder symptoms, borderline personality disorder definition, borderline personality disorder treatment. Ooh, that's actually a very good common search. I've searched that one before. And then borderline personality disorder versus bipolar, borderline personality disorder medication, borderline personality disorder relationships. Ooh. Okay, so I'm going to touch on borderline personality disorder definition first. The definition of borderline personality disorder to me, and this is like a non-psychologist definition, so don't judge me, but somebody with borderline personality disorder is somebody who struggles with their sense of self and their sense of relationships, and they have these intense emotions and these intense feelings that not a lot of people understand. And it's a very, very intense illness, and it's a very stigmatized illness. I think that's what I would put as a definition online. I don't know if that made any sense. Like I said, I don't know. Borderline personality disorder tests. Okay, so I don't believe in self-diagnosing, but I do believe in self-diagnosing. Does that make sense? No, it does not. I believe that self-diagnosing is okay to some extent. I believe that you can self-diagnose, especially if your parents are refusing to take you to a doctor. But if you have access to go see a doctor, then why are you Googling it? Because it's just like, I get that, like, and also, like, it's okay to Google it in the beginning. Let me just say that one, too. In the beginning, if you are thinking that you have the symptoms or signs attached to a mental illness, but especially borderline personality disorder, that's like the big one, because it's so easy to misdiagnose BPD, and that's why I always say with BPD, leave it to the professionals, because I honestly thought I was bipolar for the longest time, and then when my psychiatrist was like, yeah, you have borderline personality disorder, I was just like, oh. But yeah, and so I believe, like, at the start it's okay to Google it to see if you relate to any of the symptoms and stuff, and get to know the mental illness, because it's always good to know the mental illness that you think you have, and so it's easier for you to bring it up to a doctor. But I don't think that you can take a test on borderline personality disorder online. I just don't think that that's how it really works. Borderline personality disorder treatment. That one makes a lot of sense, because borderline personality disorder treatment is really hard for you to find, especially because some actual professionals refuse to work with people with BPD due to how big the stigma is, and it is really sad. That's why when I become a psychologist or work in the mental health field one day, I am definitely going to specialize or put one of my specialties as personality disorders, because it's not fair that they're neglected in the mental health system. But that's another story for another time, another video. But yeah, and it's like very hard to find like the right DBT and the right therapy that you need for borderline personality disorder. So that's definitely very common. But I will definitely say that medication cannot treat BPD, so it can only treat some of the symptoms. and ease some of the symptoms, but it doesn't take away the disorder. But I don't think medication really takes away any. Okay, this is like private, unpopular opinion here. A lot of people like share a different opinion on this with me, but I don't think medication actually takes away any mental illness, and yeah, that's just my unpopular opinion. Another search that came up was borderline personality disorder versus bipolar, and this is a very common search too, because borderline personality disorder is very commonly misdiagnosed with bipolar disorder, and vice versa. Bipolar can be misdiagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and it's just very conflicting. One difference that I found is how long the mood swings last. I've definitely found that people with bipolar, their mood swings last much longer than somebody with BPD, because people with BPD, their mood swings are very much more rapid and much more frequently changing. So yeah, and another difference is that people with BPD, their mood swings and stuff are often triggered by like interpersonal like conflicts and stuff. So yeah. So I clicked on the borderline personality disorder versus bipolar disorder to see what people also ask and that kind of thing. And one that came up was, can you have both bipolar and borderline personality disorder? And yes, that is actually a true statement. You can have both disorders, but you gotta keep in mind that they can often mask each other. So you just gotta keep an eye on the symptoms. And another question that I kind of just want to answer, in my opinion, is what triggers a person with borderline personality disorder? I think what triggers a person with borderline personality disorder is relationship issues and the fear of abandonment. If they feel like they're being abandoned by their favorite person, which one day I would like to make a video on attachment and favorite persons and BPD, but I just thought that this would be a fun idea for this week, because I've done a lot of educational videos a lot lately, so I decided to take a break from that. But I think that that can definitely trigger it. So like when they feel like they're being abandoned, that's a huge trigger. I also think that another trigger for borderline personality disorder is when somebody gets angry at them, because people with borderline personality disorder often have childhood trauma, and so I think that a huge trigger for that is when somebody gets angry and they get yelled at or in trouble because they are struggling with the trauma that they faced as a child, and that also when somebody gets angry at them, they feel like they're being abandoned. So like that kind of ties into that, you know. This search just showed me how big the stigma is on borderline personality disorder, and I'm really not happy about it. And so let's just talk about this one. Are borderline personality disorder people psychopaths? No, we are not all psychopaths. Yes, we have some psychosis symptoms sometimes. Yes, can be a sign of BPD. But that is very treatable, and that's what people don't realize. That not all people with BPD are psychopaths or manipulative or bad people, and it really hurts me that this is really the stigma. Can borderline personality disorder patients feel love? Yes, we can. We actually love very, very hard. That's actually one of the good parts about this disorder, is that we have a big heart and we love big. But also with this, you gotta remember that splitting is also a thing in BPD, and so you and your partner have to learn how to manage it. But trust your instinct. If you love somebody, trust it. Trust that it's true love. And like, I honestly just want to preach that. Can someone with borderline personality disorder be a good parent? Yes, I believe that people with borderline personality can be wonderful parents. Just like I believe anybody with any mental illness can be a great parent. I have been told by so many people, you shouldn't have kids because you have BPD and other mental illnesses. And I'm like, I'm going to be a great parent, and I'm going to show you how great of a parent I'm going to be one day. I'm going to be a loving and amazing parent. Why do therapists hate borderlines? I have read that therapists just believe that people with BPD are very difficult to treat, and I've also read that one of the reasons why they won't treat people with BPD is due to their attachment. They worry that if it's a short-term therapist that they're going to get attached, and that is not fair. That is a very unfair thing in the system that I would love to break, and yeah. The last Google search I'm going to answer is, what age does borderline personality disorder develop? According to researchers, as far as I know, it develops as early as 12 years old. But they do not diagnose it until a person reaches an adult due to the fact the brain's not fully developed. But unless it's like a severe case. This video is so much fun to film, and I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you guys have a very magical, wonderful day, and I hope you guys stay positive and know that you are amazing and you are loved and that there is a bright light at every dark tunnel. So keep going and keep fighting. You are a survivor and you are a warrior. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye guys!